situation.
So when we're looking at the candidates who are running, and we're looking at the status of the economy, and we're trying to decide, you know, who would be the best person in the White House based on what they can fix, should we really be looking at who can fix what? If they're really not that involved in the things that affect us on a day-to-day basis?
I don't think so, and I think that's what's wrong with the government in general, because people keep looking to say, how are you going to fix this? For example, how are you going to fix health care? Okay, the President of the United States doesn't know how to fix health care. Most of the people, take Barack Obama for example, I respect him, or John McCain. I'm not familiar with John McCain's graduates level. I do know that Barack Obama, he's a lawyer. He's not a doctor.
True.
Okay? So if you ask Barack Obama or John McCain, how are you going to fix health care? What are they going to do? And the big problem with health care, and this is a controversial issue, with all the people that are flooding into this country illegally, and you have to give them medical attention under emergency conditions, it's the law.
Yeah.
How does a president fix that?
How does he fix that? Because healthcare is important to people who are citizens, who are hardworking, whether it's one person in the house or two people in the house, and whether or not it's affordable. There are a lot of ladies who need to be seeing doctors, whether they're pregnant or not. There's just health things that are basic that you need to take care of yourself over time, and it changes as you go from 30s to 40s to 50s. And if you don't even have the basic health care, if you have to say, oh my goodness, I can't see my doctor because I can't go in my pocket, then what are we doing to the health of the country, actually? That's
a great question, and that's where we have the debate, because whenever somebody goes into the emergency room, whether they be, whenever someone who's uninsured goes into it, the taxpayers pick up the tab for that. So theoretically, and
so we're paying for people who are not insured when they at least need emergency help.
It's the law.
Would it really, in our country, would it really work to have a nationalized plan where everybody gets their basics?
In my opinion, no, for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, first of all, it's never worked in another country, and that doesn't mean we can't learn from other countries and try to figure out, okay, that didn't work, but let's take a look at what didn't work. A couple of problems. Number one, universal health care. My first question is, who qualifies for universal health care? Do the people that... If we had universal health care, that's automatically going to be a magnet for everybody in Mexico that's suffering, and I know they're suffering. That's going to be a magnet to attract them to come in, because now it's nationalized health care. Unless we do something like, say, Canada does, in which they restrict who actually gets access to it.
Okay.
So you have to know who gets the health care. And we have a major problem there because we can't decide that. Also, if it's basically free, the 30, 40 million, however million people it is, it's going to be a greater incentive for them to start going to the doctor every 5 minutes. And I know how that is, because I have great health benefits. I have a $10 copay to go see the doctor, and if she refers me to an MRI, I had shoulder surgery a year and a half ago. It was free.
Yes.
Okay? And it worked, but it was free.
Yes.
But because it's I have to maintain my job yet, but it only cost me $10 a pop to see the doctor, so I think if we had to start paying a little more for our health care, if we don't have to pay for our health care, if we don't have to pay
for something, you appreciate it more. If you have to work a little bit, if it's free, it decreases its value,
goes to see.
And everybody goes to see.
Instead of me only going in a severe situation, in a real situation, I can start going in case, oh, I don't feel well, I have a runny nose, stuff like that. And people that aren't as informed and aren't as educated, all of a sudden they start going, the working class people that do manual labor, if they start getting muscle pulls and all that stuff and they need help, why don't they just go see the doctor? It would put an additional strain on the medical system that we have never seen before.
So do you think people shouldn't even have a basic physical for free?
I do not believe in a free lunch, and I'm a big believer, and I am familiar with
My dad doesn't either, so I've heard what he has to say, and he's another generation, so tell me what you think.
If you get something free, if you get a freebie, you don't appreciate it.
That's what he always told us. That's true.
There's something to be said for being able to provide for yourself. And keep in mind that when people start getting free this, free that, somebody's paying for that. There's only so many billionaires and millionaires out there that can really contribute. And what they tend to do when taxes get higher, they're smart enough or they got enough money to hire a tax professional. They start taking their money, Swiss bank accounts. We already have $9.6+ trillion in debt.
Wow.
See, that's another issue. Where are we going to get the cash for this?
Yeah.
Both candidates have. Now, John McCain's giving us lip service to how he's going to reform government and cut out the spending, except in the state of Arizona, he spends as much money as any senator has, and I got the documents to prove that. And Senator Obama had, I took notes. He's got a shopping list that's 5 pages long. He wants to revamp the military, provide affordable, outstanding health care, fix the school district, and that's just 3 of the 4 or 5 pages of notes that I've got. I have yet to hear him say anything about paying off the debt, so I've got to say, how are they going to pay for all of this?
Well, you know, maybe they understand the debt better than most Americans do, and they know that it's either going to be a challenge or it's not going to be something that's going to be possible during their watch. Because to get to this kind of debt, it didn't get there overnight, first of all. It's not only one term's responsibility or accountability for that. So with a number that big, that's the first time in my life I've seen that many commas before a period. Remember I said to you, I said, wait a minute, how do you say that?
I remember that.
How do you say that? Let me count backwards. Okay, hundreds, thousands, millions.
Yeah.
Then it's going to take how many more presidential terms to even start to do anything that looks like it's being fixed?
It took decades to accumulate this debt. It's going to take decades to pay it off. Theoretically, if they just started balancing, take for example government waste and fraud that we know exists, or all the inefficiencies in government, which nobody's made any effort to fix. If they started to address that, they could save billions. If they started to address the non-defense discretionary spending, that's $400+ billion a year.
What's an example of that?
Oh, non-defense discretionary. How about the bridge to nowhere in Alaska? How about a study off the coast of Hawaii to study the coral reef or whatever it was?
And what was the alleged purpose of that, though?
I have no idea. I'm just, it's like a couple $1 million here, a couple $1 million there.
And it all adds up and nobody's paying attention.
Well, you have over 400 congressmen, you've got 100 senators, all basically trying to use these pet projects to keep their constituency happy and basically...
A lot of special interests.
Oh yeah, yeah.